It was the worst of times. Years of Maratha misrule in Orissa was followed by British occupations. The economy lay in ruins. An illiterate and demoralized population sank into apathy. The rebellion of the Oriya militia against the British was ruthlessly put down. The land revenue system, introduced by the new master, dispossessed the peasants and brought in people from neighboring provinces as exploiters. The decay of the once prosperous Oriya society became dramatically evident in the famine of 1866, one of the worst calamities in human history. In the middle of the gathering darkness, rays of hope began to glimmer. Slowly, Oriyas exposed to Western education began the work of arresting the decay. Several challenges faced them. A conspiracy to remove Oriya as a language from the schools was afoot. The very existence of Oriya language and literature, the basis of Oriya identity, was at stake. The ignorant masses had to be provided the benefits of literacy through the spread of education. A backward society had to catch up with the fast-changing modern world. The need was for writing about issues affecting ordinary people in a language accessible to them. They had to be made aware of their shortcomings and their potential. More importantly, kings and queens as central characters and narratives had to be replaced by men and women living ordinary, everyday lives. A new trend had to be ushered in for a literature of and for the common man. Fakir Mohan Senapati appears at this critical juncture in history. Fakir Mohan was born into a family of impoverished Khandayats in Malikashpur in Balaso in 1843. He lost his father when he was a little more than a year old. His mother passed away shortly afterwards, leaving him in the care of an unsympathetic uncle and his wife. The only source of comfort for this orphan was his widowed grandmother, Kuchila Dei. As a child, Fakir Mohan was prey to all manner of ailments. Once he fell seriously ill. His grandmother sat by his sick bed and prayed to the gods for his recovery. At that time, there were 2 Muslim peers in Balaso. When her prayers to the Hindu gods failed, his grandmother turned to the peers. She pledged to offer him to them as a fakir if they cured him. Fakir Mohan recovered. From Braja Mohan, he now came to be known as Fakir Mohan. Fakir Mohan was 9 when he started school. He went to a traditional village school called Chatsalis, run by teachers known as Matibonsa Ojhas. Here, children were taught arithmetic in the morning and scripture and astrology in the afternoon. The lessons over, other students went home, but Fakir Mohan stayed back to wait upon the teacher and cook for him. He left this school and joined another in the village run in the Londa Gosain monastery. However, his uncle took him out of the school and put him to work in the sail-making yard in the port of Balaso. During Fakir Mohan's childhood, Balaso was a prosperous center of maritime trade. Those were the days before steam-driven ships. Some 500 to 600 ships were at sea. Each ship needed at least 6 to 12 sails of various shapes and sizes. Sail-making, therefore, was a profitable business. Both Fakir Mohan's father and uncle made a living as ship contractors. Fakir Mohan's uncle got him to work as an apprentice in the sail-making yard. However, Balaso's prosperity as a thriving center of port was short-lived. The shipyard in Balaso came to be closed down as the mouth of the river Budha Balonga silted up. Fakir Mohan's uncle now found him work in the salt department. Salt was the most valuable export from Balasore port. Unfortunately, the British government prohibited manufacture of salt. Cheaper salt was now imported from Liverpool and other places in England. The salt division in Balasore was wound up. Young Fakir Mohan once again found himself jobless. However, adversity did not diminish the thirst for knowledge. In the middle of these hardships, he kept learning from life as well as from books. He picked up a little Bengali, Persian and Sanskrit from those he worked with in the salt division. Knowledge of these languages helped him later as a writer. Fakir Mohan now got himself enrolled in a school in Barabati, a suburb of Balasore. He topped the class at the end of the year, but he had to leave the school because he could not pay the school fees. However, soon afterwards, he was appointed the third teacher in the same school on a monthly salary of 2.5 rupees. When the post of headmaster in mission school fell vacant, Fakir Mohan was given the job. It was under his able guidance that students of the school won scholarships and brought distinction to the school. It was here that Fakir Mohan perceived the threat to the Odia language. He started writing textbooks in Odia as a response to this. His name now came to be known outside the confines of Balasore. While in the mission school, Fakir Mohan found two important friends, Reverend Halem and John Beams. They helped him widen his outlook on language and literature and also shaped the course of his life. In the 19th century, many Orias were strangers to the printed word, the vehicle of modernity. Fakir Mohan and his friends therefore wanted to make classics in Odia literature available to the reading public in Orissa by getting them printed. They also planned to bring out a news magazine which would educate public opinion by publishing articles on contemporary issues and problems. It was called Balasore Sambada Bahika. Another magazine, Bodha Daini, was to carry articles on literature. To this end, they decided to set up a printing press in Balasore. People were invited to become shareholders in this business. This was an innovative and forward-looking business idea considering the time. It fell to Fakir Mohan to finance, edit, and distribute these magazines. He also contributed most of the articles himself. In those days, Orissa formed part of one educational circle. Its headquarters was situated at Midnapur. Its inspector of schools was a British officer. Those working under him were natives. One day, an order came from the government stating that only Sanskrit and Bengali would be taught in the government high school in Balasore. It threatened the very existence of the Odia language. Fakir Mohan rose to the occasion. He roused his friends and protested against this unfair decision. He met the collector, Mr. John Beams. Mr. John Beams was impressed. John Beams was himself a philologist, and he took up the matter and wrote a letter to the Commissioner of Orissa, T.E. Ravenshaw, emphasizing the antiquity and separate identity of the Odia language. The government responded favorably. It said that Odia would be taught in all the schools of Orissa. It further recommended the setting up of new schools in the province to enhance the development of the state. Fakir Mohan's friendship with John Beams, the then collector of Balasore, led to a dramatic change in the direction of the course of his life. The post of Diwan of Nilgiri, a feudatory state bordering on Balasore, fell vacant. On Beams's recommendation, the superintendent of the tributary states offered the job to Fakir Mohan. A life rich in exciting experience and colorful adventures now began for him. Fakir Mohan spent the next 2 decades of his life working as an administrator in various feudatory states of Orissa. His commitment to modernity expressed itself in the innovations he brought about in different feudatory states he served. In Nilgiri, he raised a tea plantation. He also set up a market there. He got roads laid, founded Sanskrit and English schools. He encouraged the cultivation of exotic vegetables such as cauliflowers. Peas and tomatoes were grown in Nilgiri. Fakir Mohan's life as a Diwan was full of challenges and dangers as well. In Nilgiri, he handled with tact a peasant's revolt against the king, and in Dompara, his sagacity and his brilliant presence of mind helped the king suppress a rebellion against his authority. But it was in Keonjhar that his wit, his instinct for survival, and his ability to manage crisis situations were brought into full play. In 1887, Fakir Mohan was appointed manager of the feudatory state Keonjhar and was posted at Anandpur. In 1891, a violent uprising of the Bhuyas, a tribe against the king of Keonjhar, took place. The king fled from the palace. Fakir Mohan mobilized a motley army and proceeded from Anandpur to protect the royal palace. But he was intercepted on the way and taken a prisoner by the Bhuyas. His life was in great danger, but his razor-sharp intellect came to his rescue. He persuaded the leader of the uprising to appoint him as his prime minister. He then sent a letter written in coded words to the authority, which helped them mount a successful attack on the rebels and forced them to surrender. Fakir Mohan's role in putting this uprising down made him a legend in his lifetime. Fakir Mohan, now aged 57, decided not to take any employment. He wanted to lead a life of retirement in Cuttack. He spent a few years there. Later, he shifted to his birthplace, Malikashpur. Here he spent his last years. Fakir Mohan married twice. His first wife died in 1871. He then married Krishna Kumari, who played a pivotal role in inspiring his writing and shaping his creative self. But she too died in 1894. Fakir Mohan was crushed. These tragedies took place before he moved on to Balasore. His children had grown up and set up their own families. There was no one to look after Fakir Mohan in his old age. In his utter loneliness, Fakir Mohan decided to transmute the tragedies of his life, the events of his life, into art. His literature became a statement, a defiance against the reality of death. In Malikashpur, Fakir Mohan planted a beautiful garden which he called Shanti Kanan, or the Garden of Peace. His friends and young admirers occasionally dropped in to see him there. Fakir Mohan inspired them to contribute to the cause of the Odia language and literature. Fakir Mohan's creative genius found its fullest expression in the loneliness of old age. In the solitude of Shanti Kanan, he created one literary masterpiece after another. During my long, lonely phase, the graveyard of my wife and the Shanti Kanan, the garden of peace near my house, have given me a lot of solace. Here I have done the last writings of my life, Mamu, Praischita, Bauddha Avatara Kavya, Atma Jivana Charita. All these books have been written here. These are a few lines from Fakir Mohan's famous autobiography, the first ever written in the Odia language. Fakir Mohan had tried his hand at writing ever since the beginning of his career. As a writer, he had always responded creatively to the challenges thrown up by a changing world. The threat to the Odia language led him to write textbooks. To console his grieving wife, Krishna Kumari, he had translated the Ramayana into Odia. The need to chronicle the achievements of modern Odiyas led him to write Utkala Brahmanam, a travelogue. His moving lyrics were responses to the death of his second wife and also a withdrawal from the world of action. He wrote his novels, short stories, and his autobiography to interpret the painful transition from tradition to modernity in a colonial world. The ashes of Fakir Mohan lie buried under this stone, but he continues to live in dozens of immortal characters who are vibrant with life and unforgettable in their vividness.
बापा पासई असलेनी बापा पासई असलेनी
अच्छा वासुदेव कटक रे गोटे झियो स्कूल अच्छी परा
आज्ञा
सेठारे झियो पाठ पढ़ती हाथ सिया शिखती
मु भी से कथा कहि कहि भाबुतिली
हाँ मु भी भाबुथिली
जेजी मु पाठ पढ़िबी
पाठ कौन रंधा बड़ा कर सीखी पिठा बना करने को सीखी दही मुआ सीखी झोटी दवा सीखी पाठ कौन
मां मु पाठ पढ़िबी हो पढ़िबो
अरे श्याम ये रेबी पाठ पढ़िब अरे तिरला झीटा पाठ कौन गिरे
ओहो कहूची तो पढ़ू एई आम झंकड़ पट्टनायक घर झियो माने भागवत बुली पारती वैदहिस विलास गाँती
जल बुढ़ी डुगुर तो बापा मु पाठ पढ़िबी
हाँ तू पढ़ी पढ़ी का ओ ह्रस्व ई दीर्घ ई ह्रस्व ऊ
ପାଠ ପଢିଲା ଯେ ମୋ ପୁଅ ଗଲା, ବୋଉ ଗଲା, ବଳଦ ଗଲେ, ଅଳିଆ ଗଲା, ଅଲକ୍ଷଣୀ, କୁଲକ୍ଷଣୀ, ଲକ୍ଷ୍ମୀ ଉଡ଼ି
Rebati, the first Oriya short story in print, gives a moving account of the doomed life of a young girl and her aspiration to read and write in a world where women were denied education.
ଫକୀର ମୋହନଙ୍କର ରେବତୀ 1898 ଅକ୍ଟୋବର ମସିହାରେ ପ୍ରକାଶ ପାଇଥିଲା ଏବଂ ଆଜି ମଧ୍ୟ ଆମେ ଫକୀର ମୋହନଙ୍କର ସେହି ରେବତୀର ଚରିତ୍ରମାନଙ୍କୁ ନେଇକି ଘଟଣାକୁ ନେଇକି ତାର ଉଦ୍ଦେଶ୍ୟକୁ ନେଇକି ଗପ ଲେଖୁଛୁ, ହୁଏତ ରେବତୀ ନାମ ଦେଉଛୁ କିମ୍ବା ସେ ଚରିତ୍ରମାନଙ୍କର ନାମରେ ଆମେ ଗପ ଲେଖୁଛୁ। ତେଣୁ ରେବତୀ, ଫକୀର ମୋହନଙ୍କର ରେବତୀ ଗୋଟେ ଏତେ ତା ଭିତରେ ଯେଉଁ ସୃଜନ ଶକ୍ତି से परवर्ती 100 वर्ष धरी मध्य नुआ भावे नुआ रेवती मानू गढ़वे आम लेखक मानू प्रभावित करी आसीची।
Fakir Mohan's short story, Patent Medicine, gives the readers a hilarious account of the unsettling influence of Western education on modern Oriya youth.
आज को 4 दिन हम रोज रोज मुंड बुलाए राति रे पेट बथा करे देह झिमझिमी करे भारी कष्ट भारी कष्ट। माधवाचार्य खड़ीरत्न सह आज भेट होइतिला। हाँ परा भुवनेश्वर खंडगिरी उदयगिरी जेते महादेव अछंती समस्त को दर्शन करी मोर सब ग्रह अबल सब कटिଯିବ आउ निशा पानी पिया को तमा इच्छा होनी।
नहीं नहीं तमे भुवनेश्वर कहीं जाई परिबनी, चुपचाप घरे बस।
हाँ सत सत कहीं कुआड़े 3 दिन जाए जीवी उछुणी धवलेश्वर महादेव को दर्शन कर संजे संजे लेउटी आसबी। खड़ीरत्ने एक कथा भी कहते कुआड़े न जाई महादेव को धारणा कले सबु ग्रह मोर कटिଯିव। से कि रकम धारणा कि 5 प्रहर काल 5 प्रहर कहले एते बेलकू राति 9टा जाऊ गोटाए घरे कंबल घोड़े मुह माड़ी शोबी पृथ्वीर सबू ठाकुर देवता मनासबी ताहले मो ग्रह बल सब कटिଯିव।
ग्रह बल सब कटिଯିव
मकरा सुन मकरा तू मो पाई गोटे काम करिबु। हाँ हाँ ये कंबल घोड़ी ही गंभीरी घर भितर कबाट को आउजे शोई था राति घड़ीक सरिकी मु लेउटिबी तेते बेले जाई शोइथबु। सुन खबरदार घर बाहरबु नहीं।
नहीं नहीं मु पारिबिनी शांत मो पर रागिबे ଖପା ହେବେ।
ବାଜି ଦୁଷ୍ଟ ଭୂତ ମୋ କଥା ଶୁଣିବୁ ନାହିଁ ଜାଣୁ ବାଡ଼େଇ ପକେଇବି। ମକରା ଏ ମକରା ଇରେ ତୁ ପୁରା କେନ୍ଦ୍ରାପଡ଼ା ମାମୁଁ ଘରକୁ ଯିବୁ ବୋଲି କହୁଥିଲୁ କାଲି ଯିବୁ। मेरी दोस्त मकरम अरे उठ आज कुछ साड़ी को डर रे अरे आज मजा कथा तोते कौन कोई तो शांत पोइलीटा दी मास हेले मते अटके हेले आज दी मासर मजा एका दिने के फते अरे आज के रम नुएबे असली बिलाती नंबर 1 तो सातानी जदी गिलासे मद टाणी दियंता जानता तार केते मौज से मौज जानिची उसुमानतारा तो सातान तो काठ मूर्तिटा अरे सी केमती जानिबो से मजा मु जोटी कोउटी सुनु ता बाप छळा भी 7 जन्म रे चा देखाई नथबो देखी नथब ये
कौन कहलो
ये नामू जवाहर बेटी पोसाब कर पोसाब सॉरी
अनुभूति नथिले साहित्य सृष्टि करी हब सी जो साहित्य सृष्टि हम सी हम केवल कल्पना बेलासी साहित्य कल्पनार बसिकी किंतु प्रकृत स्वप्न बेलासी साहित्य सीना हम किंतु प्रकृत वास्तववादी साहित्यिक फकीरमोहन होती ओडिशार प्रथम वास्तववादी एवं समाज सचेतन शिल्पी
6 माण 8 गुंठ जमी तमे कंट लिखिदेव टंका मु आनीदेवी एई तम जमी को कौन किए घेनी नौची जमी जोठी अच्छी सेठी रहिबो खाली गुजारे लेखा हबो
किंतु चंपा सांताणी गाँ लोक कहते शांत कोड़े जमी कंट लिखिदेला फेरांतीनी
राम 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 ए कथा किए कहला तुमको मंगल काम पाई टंका देबे पुन तुम जमी घेनी नेबे ए गाँ लोक कथा शुणुच किया ए धंडा महारद आकुनिय मु तमर सबु भल कर देबी तमर 3 पुआ हबो
6 माणो 8 गुंठ one of the earliest novels of social realism in India is a triumph of narrative technique. It also provides a scathing critique of colonial rule and mourns the loss of a more humane social order.
एभली बहु साहित्यिक थांती जो मानकर साहित्य दर्श सहित जीवनादर्शर मेल न थाए किंतु फकीरमोहन एभली जड़े साहित्यिक जहाँकर जीवनर दर्शन सहित साहित्यर थिला अभावनीय मिलन एवं यही जो भावसाम्य ये भावसाम्य पाई से जड़े प्रकृत साहित्यिक भाव प्रतिष्ठित होते धर्म प्रति तांकर कौनसी संकीर्णता नथिला जेकोसी संप्रदायर जेकोसी धर्म को से खूब पाखरु बुझापी चेष्टा करुले तांकर आत्मजीवन चरित्र ए विषय बहु उदाहरण रही एवं निजर जो बालेश्वर घरे से गोटे बगीचारे स्तंभ करिसेंती जार नाम सर्वधर्म समन्वय स्तंभ जोठी विभिन्न मनीषी धर्मीय मनीषी मानकर बाणी और चित्रर उल्लेख रही चेतनाटी तांकर साहित्य मध्य देखा जाए कृष्ण और ख्रीष्ट कविता तार गोटे प्रधान नमूना गुरु नानक संपर्क रे कबीर संपर्क रे तांकर रचना आमको जणई दिए जे कौनसी धरणर धर्मीय संकीर्णता सहित से आदौ सालिश करिपारि नथिले।
ଓଡ଼ିଆ ସାହିତ୍ୟରେ ଯାହା ନଥିଲା ଭାରତୀୟ ସାହିତ୍ୟରେ ଯାହା ନୂଆ ହେଇକି ମୁଣ୍ଡ ଟେକୁଥିଲା ସେଇ ଗଦ୍ୟ ଗଳ୍ପ ସାହିତ୍ୟ ଆଉ ଖଣ୍ଡ କବିତା। ଆଜି ଯେଉଁ ଖଣ୍ଡ କବିତା ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛୁ ଯେଉଁ କବିତା ଲେଖା ହେଉଛି ସେ ଖଣ୍ଡ କବିତାର ଯଦି ସେଇ ଖଣ୍ଡ କବିତା ରଚନାର ଯଦି କେହି ନୂତନତା ଆଣିଥାଏ ତାକୁ ଯଦି କେହି ବ୍ୟାପ୍ତି ଦେଇଥାଏ ସେ
ଫକୀରମୋହନ ନିଜର କଥା ସାହିତ୍ୟରେ ବର୍ଣ୍ଣନାରେ ଉପସ୍ଥାପନାରେ ଭାଷାରେ ପ୍ରତିଟି କ୍ଷେତ୍ରରେ ନୂଆ କିଛି କରିଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ସେଇ ନବୀନତା ପାଇଁ ସେ ଲୋକପ୍ରିୟ ହୋଇଛନ୍ତି। ନବୀନତାର ଯଦି ଭିତ୍ତିଭୂମି ଦୁର୍ବଳ ହୋଇଥାନ୍ତା ହୁଏତ ଫକୀରମୋହନ ବିସ୍ମୃତ ହୋଇଯାଇଥାନ୍ତେ, किंतु जेहेतु से नवीनतार भित्तिभूमि थिला सुदृढ़ थिला लोकमानंकर कल्याण पाई अभिप्रेत, तेणु से अत्यंत लोकप्रिय। आज पर्यंत तांकर प्रभाव आमे ओडिया साहित्य रे देखिबा को पाऊ।